Brittney Griner has been the most dominant defensive force in the WNBA for over a decade. She's won championships. She's been an all-star 10 times. She's faced down everything from international detention to career-threatening injuries, but nothing prepared her for this. Clark is getting superstar treatment that Griner never received. Not at her peak, not ever. And Griner's reaction? It's not jealousy. It's exhaustion, because she's been fighting for respect her entire career, and now a rookie is getting everything she was denied. The question is, will Griner speak up, or will she stay silent and watch the league crown a new queen?
Incredible, somebody I grew up idolizing. Yes. But like I said after I got drafted, I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career, a place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball.
Clark walked into the arena and the world stopped. Not literally, but close enough. Security cleared a path, cameras swarmed, reporters shouted questions, fans screamed her name. The same scene that plays out everywhere Clark goes. But this time was different. This time, the treatment wasn't just for fans. It was for the league, the officials, the opposing team. Let me explain what happened. During a recent preseason game between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun, Clark drove to the basket. A defender made contact. Clark fell, the whistle blew. A routine foul. Happens a dozen times a game. But then something unusual happened. The referee didn't just call the foul. She checked on Clark, asked if she was okay, made sure she got up slowly. The Fever bench noticed, the Sun bench noticed, the announcers noticed, and Brittney Griner definitely noticed, because Griner has been on the receiving end of thousands of fouls in her career. Hard fouls, flagrant fouls, fouls that sent her crashing to the floor with no whistle at all. And no referee ever checked on her. It's the superstar treatment, one league source told a reporter. Clark gets calls that other players don't. She gets protection that other players don't. The league knows she's the cash cow. They're not going to let anyone hurt her. Griner watched from the Sun bench. She didn't say anything, didn't react visibly. But according to sources close to the veteran center, she was seething inside. Not at Clark, at the system, at a league that has protected its new star in ways it never protected her. Quote, "Brittney has been through hell," one source said. "She's been fouled harder than anyone. She's been targeted by opponents. She's been vilified by fans. And the league never did anything to protect her. Now Clark gets a referee checking on her after a routine foul? That's a slap in the face." Griner's reaction wasn't about jealousy. It was about exhaustion. She's been fighting for respect her entire career. And now a rookie is getting everything she was denied. The question is, will Griner speak up? Or will she stay silent and watch the league crown a new queen?
To understand Brittney Griner's reaction, you need to understand what she's endured. Let me take you back. Griner entered the WNBA in 2013 as the most dominant college player in history. She blocked shots like no one before her. She dunked with ease. She was 6'9" with a wingspan that seemed to touch both sidelines. Opponents had no answer for her, so they fouled her, hard, repeatedly, intentionally. And the referees, they let it happen. They used to just hack her, one former player recalled. No regard for her body, no fear of flagrant fouls. She'd get hit in the face, knocked to the ground, and the ref would just stand there. It was brutal. Griner never complained, not publicly. She'd pick herself up, walk to the free throw line, and knock down her shots. She let her game do the talking. But the fouls took a toll. Injuries mounted. Seasons were shortened. The physical abuse was normalized. Then came 2022. Griner was detained in Russia for 10 months. Detained, imprisoned, held hostage. The WNBA world rallied around Griner. Players wore her jersey. Teams painted her number on the court. But when she returned to the league in 2023, the fouls continued. Hard fouls, flagrant fouls, fouls that would have been ejections if committed against other players, and still no special treatment. Brittney has never gotten the superstar whistle, one league analyst said. She's too big, too strong. Referees assume she can take it, so they let opponents do whatever they want. Now compare that to Caitlin Clark. Clark is 6 foot, 155 pounds. She's not built to absorb contact the way Griner is. When she gets hit, she goes down, and referees have been trained to protect her. The contrast is stark, and Griner sees it. It's not about Clark, one source close to Griner said. It's about the league. They've decided Clark is the face. They're going to protect her at all costs. But where was that protection for Brittney? Where was that protection when she was getting hacked every night? Griner hasn't spoken publicly about the Clark treatment. She probably won't. She's too professional for that. But her silence speaks volumes, and the league is listening.
The contrast between how Brittney Griner has been treated and how Caitlin Clark is being treated is impossible to ignore. Let me show you the evidence. In Griner's 12-year career, she has been on the receiving end of countless flagrant fouls, elbows to the face, shoves in the back, hard fouls that sent her crashing to the floor. And how many times have referees checked on her after a hard fall? According to multiple league sources, almost never. They assume she can take it, one former referee told a reporter. She's 6'9". She's strong. They think she's invincible, so they let play continue. Clark has been in the league for 2 seasons, and already the protection is visible. Referees watch her closely. They call fouls that other players wouldn't get. They check on her after hard falls. They manage the game differently when she's on the court. It's not a conspiracy, one league analyst said. It's economics. Clark is the most valuable player in the league. The league can't afford to have her injured, so they protect her. But here's the part of this story that Griner finds frustrating. She was also the most valuable player in the league at her peak. She was the biggest draw, the most dominant force, the player everyone came to see, and the league didn't protect her. Brittney was the face of the league for years, one source said. She sold tickets, she drew viewers, she was must-see TV, and the league let opponents beat her up every single night. Why? Because she was different? Because she didn't fit the mold? The double standard has never been officially acknowledged by the league, but players see it, fans see it. Griner definitely sees it. It's frustrating, the source continued, not because of Clark. Clark deserves protection. Every player does, but Brittney deserved it too, and she never got it. Griner's reaction isn't about jealousy. It's about the inconsistency. The league is protecting its new star in ways it never protected its old ones, and that's a wound that won't heal easily.
After the game, reporters surrounded Brittney Griner. They wanted her reaction to the Clark treatment. They wanted drama. They wanted a quote that could turn into a headline. Griner didn't give it to them. "I don't worry about what other players get," Griner said, her voice flat. "I worry about my team. I worry about winning. Everything else is noise." That was it. No anger, no frustration, no acknowledgement of the double standard. But here's the thing about Griner's response. What she didn't say was louder than what she did. She didn't defend the league. She didn't say Clark deserves the protection. She didn't say the treatment is fair. She just dismissed the question. That's Brittney's way, one source close to her said. She's not going to give the media what they want. She's not going to create drama. She's just going to play basketball. But privately, according to sources, Griner has been more vocal. She's talked to teammates about it, not in a bitter way, in a "this is how the league works now" way. She's accepted that Clark is the face. She's accepted that Clark will get calls she never got. But that doesn't mean she has to like it. Griner's silence is strategic. She knows that any comment about Clark will be twisted. Any frustration will be framed as jealousy. Any criticism of the league will be used against her. So she says nothing. She lets her game speak. But her teammates see it. Her coaches see it. The people who matter see it. "Brittney is a legend," one teammate said. "She's been through more than any player in this league. She doesn't need to complain. Her career speaks for itself." Griner didn't say what she was thinking, but she didn't have to. The double standard is obvious to everyone who's been paying attention, and Griner's silence is its own kind of protest.
So where does this leave us? Brittney Griner watched Caitlin Clark receive superstar treatment that she never got. Not at her peak, not ever. A referee checking on Clark after a routine foul, protection that Griner was denied for over a decade. Griner's reaction wasn't jealousy, it was exhaustion. Exhaustion from being hacked, fouled, and targeted without complaint. Exhaustion from watching the league protect its new star in ways it never protected her. She didn't speak out, she didn't create drama, she just said, "I don't worry about what other players get, I worry about my team." But her silence spoke volumes. Brittney has accepted that Clark is the face, one source close to her said. She's accepted that Clark will get calls she never got, but that doesn't mean she has to like it. Here's the truth that nobody's talking about. The league's treatment of Clark isn't wrong. She deserves protection. Every player does. The problem is that Griner never got the same protection when she was the face. It's not about Clark, one league analyst said. It's about consistency. If the league is going to protect its stars, it needs to protect all of them, not just the ones who fit a certain mold. Griner has moved on. She's in Connecticut now, focused on basketball, focused on winning. She's not going to let the double standard define her career, but the double standard exists, and Griner's reaction, or lack thereof, has exposed it for everyone to see. So what comes next? The league will continue to protect Clark. That's not going to change. But maybe, just maybe, the conversation Griner started with her silence will lead to better protection for all players. Not just the faces of the league, everyone. Griner has been through hell, detained in Russia, targeted by opponents, ignored by referees, and she's still standing, still playing, still dominating. That's not a victim, that's a warrior, and the league would do well to remember that. So here's what I need from you. If you made it to the end of this video, you just watched a legend confront the reality of a changing league. Brittney Griner never got the superstar treatment. Caitlin Clark is getting it now. Griner isn't jealous, she's exhausted, and her silence is the loudest protest of all. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, because when Griner and Clark face off this season, and they will, you're going to want to be here to watch the contrast. The superstar treatment is real. The double standard is exposed. Now the league has to decide what to do about it. I'll see you in the next one.